Hey, I want to welcome you to Worstell.com and Faith Christian Church in Quincy. Each week we use this segment to highlight what it was we preached on the previous week. Really, hopefully, as a benefit to those that weren't able to make it in to worship with us, so that you feel like you're caught up, that you feel like you're in line with what it is that we're preaching the next time you come in, and also those that follow my blog, just as a great early week, a devotional thought for us to get through the week with. When we started this a few months ago, we really wanted it to be just a short segment. Just so that it was easily accessible, so that you could first 3 or 4 minutes that you were at work each day, you could turn it on and get through with it. And it's turned into a longer ordeal than what we wanted or anticipated. And so we're really going to strive to bring this back, to cut it back down to that 3 to 5 minute, because we really want it to be accessible to you. We are in the story at Faith. We're over halfway through. It's this crazy thing just to be able to preach the Bible in 31 weeks. We're already to Esther. Esther is this great book of the Bible. Esther is this, most women in the church know this, the story of Esther, simply because the key verse from Esther for such a time as this has probably been the theme for at least one, if not all, of the women's conferences you've ever been to. It's just very popular because it really is an empowering book. It says, this is the time. This is the time as Christians. And I tell you what, is any time in our history as a church in America to hear those words, this is the time to do something. It's now. I want to highlight a couple other things from this story. Mordecai is Esther's cousin. He is the one that's raised her. He's the one that's brought her up. He is the one that is going to her now to say, hey, this guy Naaman is from Agag, which is, this is a blood feud basically that they had with the Jews, his family, since the Jews were back wandering in the desert. Okay, so this goes back a long time, and God said, I'm going to wipe them all out eventually. And this is where all that happens. Finally, several hundred years later, they all get wiped out. But Naaman hates the Jews, man. He wants them to die. And so he has convinced the king to kill them all. The king does not know Esther is a Jew. So Mordecai goes to her and he says, hey, you have got to go before the king. You have got to argue on our behalf. And she says, hey, it's illegal to do that. You know what happened to the last queen that did something that the king didn't like. That's the reason I'm here now, is because she isn't. She said, I cannot do this. I can't go before the king and save our people. Mordecai looks at her and he says this. He says, don't think that just because you're in the king's house, that's going to save you. You know that already. The last queen wasn't saved because she was the queen. He will find out you're a Jew and you will die. And so Mordecai looks at her and he gives her like this not this ultimatum, but this, here's the choice you have. Either wait till the king finds out that you're a Jew and die, or go before him now, try to rescue us, and if that's unsuccessful, you'll die. But know this, God put you here for a reason, for such a time as this. You are the one to do this for us. I think this is important for us as Christians to understand. We are going to live with the consequences of sin the whole time we are on this earth. The world is broken, there is sin in the world, and we will live with the consequences of sin, regardless of what we do. So, either we can just live with them anyway, or we can try to change the world. Either way, we're going to deal with consequences of this. Either way, it's going to happen. But maybe, just maybe, you are here today. You are in your workplace today. You are in your home today. You are in your family today for the reason of changing it. Either way, you're going to suffer, so might as well be the agent of God. 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 9 says this, you are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a people belonging to God, that you may declare the praises of him who called you out of darkness into his wonderful light. Oh, wow, what a wonderful thing. So she stops, and she looks at Mordecai, and Esther says this. She says, you know what? I need you to start praying for me, because I'm going to go before the king. And in her best Drago impersonation from Rocky IV, she looks at him and says, if I die, I die. Horrible impersonation. but you get the point. She says, you're right. Either way, I might as well go out serving my king. I love that courage from Esther. Paul says this in Philippians chapter 1. He says, for me to live is Christ, but to die is gain. Take that with you this week.